une grande bouche vorace qui ne retenait rien.
Mais non, les souvenirs restent.
Tout le monde fait la fête comme si tout allait bien.
T'es un petit bourge que se raconte des histoires, c'est tout.
Les gens qui sont dehors, là. Je sais ce qu'ils vivent. C'est l'enfer.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for a look at the best French films of the moment. And I'm joined by our critic, Perrine Quennesson. We're starting with a real-life Kabul extraction thriller, which premiered in Cannes this May. 13 Days, 13 Nights comes from the director of The Three Musketeers. Tell us more, Perrine.
Yeah, that's right. 2 years after his two-part Three Musketeers saga you just mentioned, and right after releasing a series on Apple TV Plus called Carême, Martin Bourboulon hasn't been slacking off, we can say that. And actually, you can say also he's become the go-to director for French-style blockbusters. And this time, with 13 Days, 13 Nights, he's tackling a true story, the evacuation of the French embassy during the fall of Kabul in August 2021. I think we should have a look to the trailer, so let's have a look.
20 ans après, les talibans font leur retour au pouvoir.
Les gens qui sont dehors, là. Je sais ce qu'ils vivent. C'est l'enfer.
Il y a à peu près 300 personnes tassées devant la grille. Il faut ouvrir.
Ouvrez les portes! Respecter les ordres, ça fait partie de notre métier, mais c'est aussi un choix de ne pas les respecter.
The French embassy being the last place in Kabul where anyone can go right now.
On ne peut pas tenter de sortir par la force. On n'a pas d'autre choix que de traiter avec eux.
Well, it looks extremely tense, Perrine. Should we expect a film like Catherine Bigelow's Zero Dark 30 or Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Dawn?
Not quite. While Martin Bourboulon's film is impressive, it's not trying to be spectacular for the sake of it. What he's aiming for is tension, to make us feel that the danger is everywhere and that France held its ground until the very end, before the Taliban took back power. It's more suffocating, and if we have to do some comparisons, it's closer to another film from Catherine Bigelow's, The Hurt Locker. We have the same feeling of tension and grit.
OK, and there are some really big names from French cinema in there, including one of my favourites, Roche Dizem.
Yeah, indeed. The film is adapted from the book by Commander Mohamed Bida, and that's the role Roche Dizem is playing. Actually, Roche Dizem is like really the go-to actor right now. He's like in
everywhere.
Yeah, he's everywhere. It's like you can't spend 3 months without seeing him on screen, but actually that's not unpleasant. I totally agree with you. We recently was in Winter is Talk Show, for example, so he's everywhere. And next to him, we have Lina Kudry, whom we discovered in Papisha, and who went working with Wes Anderson, for example, and also the actress Sitze Babette Knudsen, I'm sorry for the pronunciation, the lead actress of the TV series Borgen. For the movie, however, the effort is commendable. In the based on the true story genre, I recently preferred the German movie 5 September, which revisited the Munich attacks, which was actually better.
Okay, there we go. 13 Days and 13 Nights. Well, let's move on to another film that featured at the Cannes Film Festival this year. It opened the director fortnight section. It's called Enzo, and it has a unique story. It has two directors for a rather sad reason.
Yeah, indeed. The two great filmmakers share the credit for directing Enzo. So the project was started as both writer and director by the late Laurent Canté, who we have to thank for the 2008 Palme d'Or winner, The Class. He was co-writing the script with Robin Campillo, who is known for the acclaimed BPM, Beats Per Minute, who also received an award in Cannes in 2017. But when Laurent Canté passed away in April 2024, Robin Campillo took over to finish directing Enzo. So that's why we have two names. So I think we should take a look at Enzo.
Enzo?
T'as 16 ans?
T'as le droit d'avoir des ambitions un peu plus grandes, voilà.
Mais tu vois, j'ai des ambitions toutes petites, moi.
Ah, ok, donc tout se ramassant toute ta vie.
Et alors? C'est déshonorant?
Alors, il paraît que tu as une maison de milliardaire, hein. Une grande piscine et tout.
J'aimerais bien revoir ta maison.
C'est pas chez moi, c'est chez mes parents.
Vous êtes très beaux tous les deux.
Je vais t'aider. Je compte retourner en Ukraine.
Pourquoi je vais retourner en Ukraine?
Pour te battre, pour ta famille.
J'ai pas envie de cette vie-là. Tous ces trucs, tous ces gens. Tout le monde fait la fête comme si tout allait bien.
T'es un petit bourge que ça raconte des histoires, c'est tout.
It looks a bit like a coming-of-age story. What's Enzo about?
So Enzo is a 16-year-old who wants to become a bricklayer. His career choice doesn't sit very well with his father, who is a university professor and researcher, and who had, a different ambition for his son. With his mother, it's better. She's more philosophical about it. She's an engineer as well. So on the construction site where he's an apprentice, Enzo meets Vlad, who is an Ukrainian worker and with whom he develops fascination, I would say also attraction. Enzo is a film about moving between social classes, but not in the most expected way. But it still asks a question that we all face, which is, where do I fit in? So that's the question, and it explores this question through the turmoil of adolescence and a not very good and very sane father-son relationship.
Okay, is it worth seeing then?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a bit of the, call me by your name vibe into it, but we're not in Italy this time. We are in south of France, but it's sensual. Maybe sometimes it's a bit too dreamy, but most of all, the acting is superb. We're alongside the two young leads, Eloy Pou, who plays Enzo, and Maxime Zori-Sliwinski as Vlad. We have Pierfrancesco Favino, the great, brilliant Italian actor we just saw in the Count of Monte Cristo, or The Traitor, for example, Marco Bellocchio's movie, and also the subtle and always perfect Elodie Bouchez. They play the parents. Actually, it's a must-see.
Okay, well, that's Enzo. Next to a film then that won an award at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival. It's an adaptation of a work by the famous Belgian novelist Amélie. It's called Little Amélie, or The Character of Rain. Interesting name. Tell us more about it.
So this is actually the third adaptation of this very prolific novelist, who actually wrote so many books. So after Fear and Trembling and Tokyo Fiancé, in this one, filmmakers Maëlys Valade and Lian Chauhan have adapted The Character of Rain, a novel from 2000 where she recounts the very first years of her life in Japan, from birth to age 3. Very, very first years. And it's all done in a beautiful, beautiful 2D animation. I think we should take a look. It's beautiful.
Au commencement, il n'y avait rien, à part un tube. Des jours, des semaines, des siècles passèrent. Et le miracle eut lieu. C'est ainsi que je suis née, par la grâce du chocolat blanc. Est-ce que c'était ça, la vie? Une grande bouche vorace qui ne retenait rien?
Mais non, les souvenirs restent.
Puisque ce qui m'a été donné me sera repris, je devais me souvenir. Je veux tout voir, tout sentir.
So I have to ask, what's a story about a kid from the age of 0 to 3 even about?
Yeah, it's true. It's not your typical story, but Little Amélie, or The Character of Rain, is kind of a coming of very young age, where we see the transition from being a baby to a toddler. It's about moving from the all-powerful feeling of a newborn to the process of learning about life. This happens through the discovery of the world, smells, landscapes, taste, as we see we just saw in the trailer with white chocolate, but also through loss, because, unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and Little Amélie learns it very quickly. On paper, Amélie Nothom's book was unadaptable at all, but because it's animation, anything is possible, so the story becomes universal.
So who's it for? Is this just for kids or for new mums?
For everybody, actually. Little Amélie or The Character of Rain is exactly the kind of film you can watch at any age and keep discovering something new. It's one of those movies with multiple layers, of meaning that make every generation laugh and feel something, sometimes at the same time, sometimes in different places. Besides, the audience at the Annecy Festival got it right and give it the Audience Award. And to be clear, in Annecy, the audience is not just kids, and far from it. There's a lot of adults. But honestly, maybe you felt it with the tone of my voice, but it's absolutely my favorite pick of this month.
Ah, okay.
Beautiful
All
movie.
right. Well, that's worth watching then, worth noting. Well, just before we go then, you're finishing up with a comedy that also has a connection with one of France's biggest festivals.
Yeah, it's the festival today. So Avignon. So if you love theater and happen to be in France in July, you can't miss this huge festival that turns the entire city of Avignon into a giant stage for over 300 shows every year. It's this in this chic and hot, because at that time of the year in Avignon it's very, very hot. So it's this great cultural setting that the director Johan Dionnet chose for his debut feature film, which is a romantic comedy.
And the story of Avignon sounds like a classic rom-com setup, doesn't it? A guy gets tangled in a lie to win over the girl he likes and has to do everything to not get caught. It sounds familiar.
Well, yeah, the pitch might remind you of some rom-coms we all know very well, like Heartbreaker with Romain Duris and Vanessa Paradis, for example, or Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore. And this time, actually, that's also part of the fun, in a rom-com. You know where you're getting into, so that's part of the fun. And this time, Stéphane is a commercial theater actor, and he wants to impress the woman he's trying to seduce. He's trying to make her believe that he's working in a major classic play, and actually, he doesn't want to be caught lying. But beyond this very predictable plot, the film is ultimately about the harsh cultural hierarchy, and the film invites us to step away from this ingrained snobbery that tends to divide rather than to unite people. That is a message I truly, truly approve.
Thank you so much for telling us about that. We're going to leave you with a look at Avignon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Fanny?
Mais oui, Stéphane.
Oui, Stéphane, c'est ça.
Attends, tu joues dans le Cid?
Pardon?
Tu sais que c'est incroyable, c'est ma pièce préférée. Tu joues qui?
Je joue...
Tu vas pas faire croire que tu joues le Cid pendant tout Avignon.
Tu trouves pas que c'est un peu de la merde ce qu'on fait? Franchement, je me demande si c'est vraiment du théâtre, tu vois, parce que...
Oh putain, mais t'es malade ou quoi? Mais ça va pas, qu'est-ce qui te prend?
J'étais obligé de te faire revenir sur le droit chemin.
Puis si elle t'aime bien, elle s'en foutra dans quoi tu joues.
Allez, salut Thierry, salut les amis, et bravo, ça commence à monter en énergie cette histoire-là, on est bien là.
Ouais, mais il va venir voir la pièce tous les jours, lui, ou quoi?